During the summer of 2015, I traveled the United States, interviewing 18-year-olds asking them what it means to grow up. Along the way, I heard many incredible stories, and today I'd like to share 3 of them with you.
Hi, my name is Grace Scarpino. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Cedar Knolls, New Jersey, and my perspective on growing up is that I don't want to and I'm not ready at all. I think growing up is something that everyone has to do, but I feel like I'm the only one that feels like they don't want to. Knowing that I have to leave my friends was so hard, especially because I've been so involved with theater and I was so close to my teachers and everything. It's very hard to know that I have to move on and grow up and start figuring out what I want to do with the rest of my life. Pretty easy growing up. I went to public school. It wasn't anything different. Everything was just normal family, normal life pretty much. But school was always kind of tough for me. As much as I did get good grades and I tried hard, tests and things like that were always a struggle for me. There's a lot of pressure that comes with going to school every day, especially as a kid, because you're young and all you want to do is just go out and play and have a good time with friends, and it's hard to finally realize that you have to sit down, take this test and pass this class and do all these things to make you get into college and stuff when you're not ready to. It's so weird to know that we have to go to college and figure out exactly what we want to do with our lives when just a few months ago I was still raising my hand to go to the bathroom. How you expect me to go from that and then a couple months later, figure out my life. I had to deal with a lot of social problems with a lot of groups of friends. I had a set group of friends and we would do everything together. 6th grade I got into my first fight with one of the girls. 7th grade I got into a fight with another one of the girls. It was always constant where I would be getting into fights, not physical, but verbal arguments through text. Finally I was all right, I'm gonna join theater, and I made all these new friends, and we had a whole name and everything, and a group chat, and it was great. It's hard to know that I have to move on and leave them. I have all these friends that are moving on just the same as me, but they're all so excited and they're all doing all these great things for college, and here I am feeling I don't want to go. I feel like I'm the only one that feels like this. There's a lot of things I think you need to learn in college. Your major, everything. But I think one of them is to find out who you are as a person. Forget about all the high school drama, forget about all the middle school drama, everything that happened before, and just focus on yourself. And that's been a real struggle for me, but I think going into college and learning new things will help me, find out who I am.
Hi, I'm Jenna Torres. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and my perspective on growing up is experiencing new things, whether it's good or bad, and learning from everything you do, owning up to what you do, and finding a better way to move forward in life. As a kid growing up, I had thought that my family was pretty perfect in a way. My mom and dad were together and they were taking care of me and my 5 other siblings. But eventually as I got older, things started to just fall apart within my family. My dad was, he is an alcoholic, and my mom didn't want that at all. So with my dad being an alcoholic, it definitely affected my family a lot. I think a dad plays a big role in a young woman's life of knowing that she doesn't need a man, and also feeling protected and knowing that when we are in a relationship, we also have our dad there for us, and he loved us first. I think for myself, that's where it all started, where I started being depressed because I saw just how my family broke apart. When you see something so great and then it falls apart, that is very heartbreaking. It definitely led more into depression, and I dealt with cutting and I dealt with bulimia. It led to just being suicidal, and I just really came to a point where I felt like there was no purpose in life. We have dreams and whatever, but it's hard to even get to those dreams. Definitely realizing that, I felt like there was no hope in life. And I remember my cousin, she came to my house and I was feeling very suicidal, but she didn't know how I was feeling. And she invited me to church. And I remember when I got there, this woman was preaching and everything she was saying was exactly how I felt. And she was talking about how if you don't forgive the people who hurt you and you don't forgive yourself, then you're not going to be able to move on in life. And I was like, yeah, like that's true. And also, I think when I heard that he forgave me, it helped me a lot because I hated myself, and so I couldn't forgive myself either. But knowing that he did, it helped me a lot, and knowing that like he still loved me. Everything I went through in my life were for a reason, and going through all of those bad things, it brought me to where I am now, where I know definitely more of what's right and what's wrong.
Hi, my name is Ebony Pugh. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm 18 years old. Growing up to me is knowing that growing up is inevitable. You have to grow up whether you like it or not. And I feel like as a child, you feel like things are going to go your way and you're going to have the perfect life. But growing up shows you that your idea of the perfect life may be tainted. I've had multiple experiences in proving that. In 5th grade, my parents separated, and I had to learn that we were not the perfect family like I thought we were. 6th, 7th grade, I had to grow up really fast, and my dad, he was not really around. He did what he wanted to do, and I had to grow up and fend for my sister and take care of her. And that was a really bold experience for me because I had to step out of my comfort zone and pick her up when I hadn't even picked myself up. We had to start living with my dad's family, my grandparents. We never talked to them in a sense where they were the loving grandparents that took care of the children or the grandchildren. We never really had that relationship. My dad finally got a house for himself, and we were his children, so basically we had to move in there. It was he didn't have a choice, we didn't have a choice. He couldn't just leave us. My mom finally got a job after her area of homelessness that she had. She finally thought that everything was gonna be okay. We were happy to move in with her, we missed her. Her having this job made us feel like everything was gonna be all right, but that's just not what it was. She lost her job, we became homeless, and that was hard for me because I'm now in high school. I need clothes, I have friends that wanna come over, and I can't even be a hostess because where can they go? I always turn the other cheek. I just left it, I let go, and I let God deal with it, and I let him deal with the depression as well. And that depression was really a struggle because I never wanted my sister to see me in that light. I never wanted her to know that I was hurting. I never wanted her to know that I felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders because no one was around for me, so how can I be around for her? It was moments where I felt like I just didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to live on this earth. I knew that I had to be here for my sister. I knew that I had to hold everything together because I was the older sister, and I had to be optimistic about everything, the whole situation, because I knew no matter what, I can't let her feel how I feel, ever. My dad finally started coming back into the picture when he realized we're growing up and he's missing out on time and he's missing out on things that he was supposed to be here for. When he sat us down and told us that we were beautiful young women and he had missed out, and we cried together, we shed tears, we prayed, we asked God to put us back together, he had to grow up in himself, in a sense, and he had to realize that he had to be a man for his family. He began helping my mom get her life back together and get into the services, and I feel like God took me through all these obstacles to show me that this is what growing up looks like, and I'm gonna have to deal with it whether I like it or not. And growing up without him would have been harder than growing up with him, and I think I am blessed to still be here today.
There are many perspectives on what it means to grow up, but one thing is for certain: we must be fearless in our approach.